I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a 3-time Pro Bowl.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Derek Carr set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. Now Carr on the bootleg. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, now Carr. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line.
Here we go.
A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
734.
On 1st and goal, Washington. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Doyle. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
On 1st and 10, Locke. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. We'll look now at our starting defense. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it, because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer. Past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And all eyes will be on Antonio Brown on the outside, now wearing a uniform other than Pittsburgh's. Donning the black and silver of Oakland. How will he mesh with his new head coach, John Gruden, his new quarterback, Derek Carr? Let's see how things go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play right in his hands. Unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. To the right side, incomplete to Washington. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. Make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now Martin. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Martin. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Craig Robertson in on the stop.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Carr. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 5th touchdown. Now on the year, and the Colts have taken the lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense led by Antonio Brown heading back out. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the draw, Carr leads to Washington. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Carr, he's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On the run, it's Smith. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Jamal Sheard on the stop. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Luck. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Maurice Hurst. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman. All right. Folks eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mack. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's first and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. Offense back out now for first and goal after the successful fake. So they pulled a little rabbit out of their hat, nearly for 6, almost got the fake into the end zone. Either way, they're set up really nicely.
So we all fell for the illusion, didn't we? Did they saw someone in half on stage
well
on that one? I mean, that was something right there. We fell for the fake in a big way, as did the defense. And look what it turned into, a monster play. And now they're set up inside the 5-yard line.
On second down, it's Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first, here's Washington. Margus Hunt able to take him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Carr completes it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. On 2nd and 9, Carr on the crossing route, complete. That's Wilson. A gain of 13. It's a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll run for it with Martin. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, Carr to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The free safety, Malik Hooker, there in coverage.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful when the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, a run by Matt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down now, it's Mack. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Mack, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will get it at their 20-yard line. So Carr and the Raiders now down 17-14. A little under a minute to go. A fourth straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to he's got a man complete. 20, 10. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the fourth quarter now. And it was the... Chiefs who emerge victorious there. That one's certainly of interest to many around the league. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Now it's the Colts' turn, trailing by 4. A little under 50 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines with time running out. And the Colts are going to jump back in front.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8th. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Around the NFL fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And the Falcons have wound up winning that football game. Matt Ryan, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. To throw is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Big hit.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Carr. That escapes the sack, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. Well, that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Indianapolis, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.